When you set up your new account, make sure that you start it with a strong password. Once you created that email address, the first thing to send out should be an email addressed to yourself, and then you use the BCC, blind carbon copy, and in the line for the addresses in the BCC column, put in all the names that are in your address book. Check those names carefully, because the cyber crook has probably already added his name to your address book. He would like to know what your new email address is going to be. It's also a good time to clean out all those names that somehow appeared in your address book. You don't know how, but they're in there. The body should say that this is your new email address. No longer accept anything coming from the old email address, because it's not really coming from you. Throw that email from the old email address directly into the trash, and then add the old email address to the spam blocker, so that anything that comes from the old email address no longer gets directly to you. And never click on anything in those emails. That's the only way that you can totally wipe out. A friend of mine who had had his email hijacked said he fixed his problem by simply changing his password. And he's right, he fixed the problem for himself. Unfortunately, all of us were still being bombarded with advertisements and all other kinds of stuff, because he never changed his email address. Once he followed this advice, we knew anything coming from the old email address wasn't really coming from him, and that took care of the problem. 8 signs that someone has probably stolen your identity. Your bank account shows withdrawals that you've never made. You get your circulars and your garbage mail, that still comes to your house, but your regular mail stops coming to the house. Your checks are being refused by merchants. You receive calls from debt collectors for loans you've never made. Your credit report contains unfamiliar charges and loans. You receive bills from medical providers for office visits you've never made, and probably to doctors you've never heard of. You can't get health insurance coverage because they tell you you have a disease that you know you do not have. The other party does. You get a notice from Uncle Sam that you filed more than one tax return. It'd be nice if they told you you had more than one refund coming, but that's not how this works. If this happens to you, contact the folks at idtheftcenter.org, a nonprofit organization. They don't charge for their services. The only thing they do is help people recoup from having their identity stolen. Any one of us at any time could become the victim. Even those programs for which you pay a monthly fee cannot guarantee that you'll never become a victim. The only thing they tell you is that they have insurance, so that if it happens, there's money there to help you recoup. These people do it for free. idtheftcenter.org. idtheftcenter.org. Even the free version has protection in it that will make the likelihood of you becoming a victim less likely. I told you I used the free version, so I augmented with other programs. Avast does an excellent job of protecting me against viruses, Trojans, rootkits, lots and lots of malware, but malware isn't our specialty. So I add Malwarebytes to the mix. In order for it to do you any good, you need to download it, install it, and run it. The first time it automatically updates its database before doing a scan. Thereafter, it only tells you it's been X number of days since the last update, and you have to do the update manually. That's the price of using the free version of Malwarebytes. CCleaner, designed to clean out garbage, including cleaning out all the temp folders on your computer, which is something we talked about in the beginning. It's also a registry cleaner, and unless you're an expert at cleaning the registry, Please don't use that part of the program. All registered claimants make the same claim. Use me and I will speed up your computer. They never tell you by how much. If saving 5 or 10 millionths of a second is worth taking a chance on possibly not booting your system at all, then you can go ahead and use it. I don't. You have a question?
What's your feeling about Microsoft's malware program that you download?
I don't use it.
You think Malwarebytes?
I use Malwarebytes. It's far superior.
Okay.
Okay? I believe the malware portion in Avast is superior to what Microsoft gives you. I do give Microsoft credit for including it in the operating system because it does protect those people that have nothing on their computer, or the ones that wind up with a trial version, and at the end of 30 days when it comes time to pay, they said, I can't afford it. So they don't pay for it, and they assume because it's on the computer, they have protection. They've got nothing. They've got a false sense of security. At least at that point, Security Essentials does give you protection. Yes?
The way I've used it, and I thought it's separate from Windows, if you download it from Microsoft's site, it's not part of Windows. You download
Depends on what version of Windows you're using, okay?